Happy Sunday, guys. It's the start of a new work week next week. And if you live in Illinois or anywhere close, you may have had spring break this week. I know Massachusetts County did. Um, so it'd be nice to see the kiddos again, but I'm not ready to give up my freedom all day and sleeping in. Well, I didn't really sleep in a lot, but anyway, if you read the title of this clip, it's called Life Updates. So, one life update I have to share with you guys is kind of one that's embarrassing. So, I had a little accident. I was riding a bike and I saw a car coming and I tried to get out the street, but instead of getting out the street, I ran into a tree and I broke my big toe. So, I have a cast on. Just kidding. Well, I do have a cast on, but it's not called a cast. It's called a walking boot. But yeah, that was kind of mean to trick you guys like that. But I'm a trickster. If you're like a close friend or family of mine, you know that I like to play jokes and trick people. But yeah, I do have on a walking boot though. It's gonna be crazy going back to work in it. What happened was when I was 13, I wore point shoes. If you haven't saw any of my other videos or know me personally, I danced for 15 years. I did tap, jazz, and ballet. I did the dance team my 7th and 8th grade year for junior high. Then I did the dance team for my 9th, 10th, and 11th and 12th grade year for the high school. And I also danced in the Russian Nutcracker ballet, so that required me to wear point shoes also. So the thing is, you get point shoes when you're 13. Well, you can when you're 13. Your dance teacher won't allow you until you're 13. At least mine didn't. And she told me, she's like, now you have these point shoes. You're gonna have to go home and stretch your and do like toe stretches. And she told me what stretches to do, and make sure you go home and practice in them at least 2 hours after your homework and school and eating dinner and all that. Did I do that? Nope. So I only wore the point shoes like whenever I was at dance, and so whenever I put them on, my feet would cramp up, and I usually just take them off. So when I was 17, I started having numbness in my foot. I also did band. We had to roll our feet a lot and march, and it's called like rolling your feet. If anybody does band, you know what I'm talking about. And when I was driving, I felt my feet were getting numb. So I was 17 at the time, and I couldn't make my own doctor's appointment. So I told my mom, and she made me a doctor's appointment, and they eventually did an MRI, and they saw that I had bursitis in my toes on my right foot. And so I went to physical therapy for that, and they did ultrasound therapy and everything, and that was it. It was the end of it. Didn't have any more problems at all. So probably about 3 months ago, and it was still kind of cold. Probably about 3 months ago, and I noticed that my foot was getting numb again when I was driving, and I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I was so busy with work and other stuff. It's like, oh, it'd go away. It'd be no big deal. I thought it was just because I had on like boots all day long, so I would wear them from like 7 all the way to like 4 p.m. when I would get off work and run errands and everything. And so I didn't notice it until probably about a month ago. My every time I would step, I would have like a really bad pain in my toe. It's like, what is going on? And so it's like, well, I'm on spring break. I have a little bit of time. I might as well go see about it. And it's probably nothing. And so I went. They couldn't do any X-rays or MRIs at the time, and she looked at my foot, just kind of felt it. She said, asked me where it hurt, and she pressed under my big toe at the bone, you know, like the big fleshy part on right under the big toe. She pressed on that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's where it is." And she's like, "Well, that's called the sesamoid bone." And at the time, I thought she said the Sigmund bone, but there's a philosopher named Sigmund Freud, so I didn't think that was it. And then there's also like the Sigmund in the colon. It's like, well, that can't be it. So I looked it up at home, and I ended up finding out it was called the sesamoid bone. She's like, well, it's called sesamoiditis. Now, what we can do for that is we can give you a shot. And I was like, I don't know about that. That shot was like this big, and it goes in your big toe. Now, I'm not one that I'm one that is a high tolerance for pain because I've had this issue for like the last 3 months now, and I didn't really even tell anybody, and working with it and everything. But I don't know, just like the thought of a big needle going into my big toe, it's like, I don't know. She's like, well, we can try a walking boot. I'm like, uh, I mean, I guess. And I was thinking it was just gonna be like covering my foot. They came to bring that thing out. That thing goes all the way up, like almost up to my knee. It's like so embarrassing. So I have to wear this until May 1st, and I also take an anti-inflammatory once a day. I mean, I guess that's better than getting a shot, and I hope this works because I really don't want to get a shot. If the shot doesn't work, then you're probably going to start talking about surgery, and you don't want that because you can get into the spinal issues and all that, but that's probably like a long time away, so we're not even going to think about all that. I won't be able to do that now anyway. Anyway, um, yeah, so it's called sesamoiditis. I never heard of the sesamoid bone in the toe. Apparently it's there, and it's inflamed. So yes, that's one of my life updates. Let me see if I can show you guys the boot. Yes, there's the dreaded boot right here. It's huge. This thing is very huge. And y'all see my little dog Brody right here. Just came back from a trip, so he's being clingy. Yes, so that is my boot. Yeah, it's gonna been having a lot of stares from some people. They're kind of looking at me like, what in the world is wrong with her foot? I'm like, well, I'm sorry I got sesamoiditis. But a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a couple of people are concerned. They're like, oh, what's happened to your foot? Other people just like to stare, whisper, which is I find really strange because, you know, it's a boot. It's not a cast. Not like I'm in a wheelchair or anything. Anyway, what else I was going to say? Oh, yeah. It's going to be a lot to try to explain to the children tomorrow. They're going to have lots of questions. I'm going to have to sit them down like, oh, wait until everybody gets in here. I'll tell everybody all at once what it is, how I got it. Not looking forward to that part. Not looking forward to going out in public even more in this thing. Anyway, that's one of my life updates. Another life update. I don't know if you guys, if you've been following my other videos, I've kind of mentioned I was in a relationship probably a couple times in a couple of my videos. But just to clear the air, because I don't put too much on social media, I'm no longer in a relationship. I'm single. So you guys can stop asking when I'm going to get a ring on this finger. Wait, let me show you the right finger. This finger. This one. There you go. This is my left hand. You can stop asking when I'm going to get a ring on that finger because it's not going to be anytime soon, honey. No. Yeah, so I'm just focusing on myself right now. Finishing up these last 32 days of work. It's going to be a struggle because it's going to be getting warm and the kids are going to be ready to get out for the summer break. And I'm going to be ready to get out for summer break. And testing's over, so they feel like they don't have to listen anymore. But pray for me on that one. Pray for me on these other stuff too. It's another life journey I'm about to embark on, coming really soon. Not going to say too much about it. Close family and friends know. Yeah, you guys find out soon enough, I'm guessing. Yeah. So, those are 3 of my life updates. Pretty interesting stuff going on in my life right now. But just trying to lean on God and focus on Him and doing what His plan is for me. Because nobody's perfect. We all have stumbling blocks with life, but it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up. I think I said that right. And God's always a forgiving God. He's a merciful God. And I just bought this cross. Anytime I feel tempted or discouraged, I'm just going to grab this cross and remember what it means. And it means that Jesus died on the cross. Every time that we sin, we're crucifying Him again. I just try to keep that dear to my heart. And pray for me on this journey I'm about to embark on. Gonna be a roller coaster. It's different, something I haven't did before, of course. But yeah, just keep me in your prayers, and if you guys have any questions or comments, or see that little button down there, that red and white button, if you want to subscribe, that'd be awesome. But I hope you guys have a good night and a good work week or school week. Bye.